Pantry out of control? Let's get organized. Keep watching to the end for all the tips to organize your dry goods, and some of these tips may surprise you. Airtight containers can extend the shelf life of your food by blocking out moisture and are perfect for dry goods like flours, grains, lentils, nuts, and dried pasta. If stored thoughtfully, dry goods can last in your pantry for at least 6 months or if not longer. In this video, we will tackle some of the enemies to storing dry goods: light, temperature, moisture, and air. Most dry goods will need to be repackaged once you get them home from the grocery store. Choosing the right container and knowing your space is key to organizing and keeping your pantry dry goods fresh. Before you get started, make sure you know how much space you have available in your pantry to store your goods. Then, choose your containers wisely based on those measurements. Your flours can be kept in the freezer or the pantry. If you keep them in the pantry, put them in a sealed container and also keep them away from light and direct heat. If you choose to put them in the freezer, make sure you put them in a sealed Ziploc container and let them come to room temperature before using in your baking. For your sugars, moisture is the enemy. Never store your sugars in the refrigerator or the freezer. If you do, you'll end up with a brick of sugar. A package of brown sugar will fit nicely in one of these containers. To keep brown sugar soft, you can buy a little ceramic disc that you can put inside your container and it will keep your brown sugar soft. A 4-pound bag of sugar won't quite fit in one of these containers. So this is a mistake that I made that I'm going to have to fix and find the right size container for my 4 pounds of sugar. Lentils, beans, and rice fit nicely in different types of containers. This container can fit 2 bags of lentils. These containers, I can put 2 bags of beans in them. And the rice can also be stored in one of these size containers. The trick with beans, lentils, and rice is to keep them in a cool, dark area. Rice can also be kept in the freezer. Nuts can be problematic. Nuts have a lot of natural oils, and so they will go rancid over time. I keep the nuts we don't use very often in the freezer. Large packages that we buy in bulk, I keep in the freezer until it's time to refill the container. If you don't go through a lot of nuts, I would not recommend a large container, or if you do get a larger container, portion it out so that some of it stays frozen. Yeast is another one of those ingredients that can be kept in the freezer. It greatly extends the shelf life of yeast. Baking soda, baking powder, cornstarch can all be kept in containers like this. I like this size because they stack really well. The only problem is it doesn't quite fit a full container of cornstarch. If you have a rodent problem, they will go for these types of grains and cereals first. So make sure they're in a container that's difficult for mice to chew through. Now that we have our dry goods sorted, you can go back and watch the other 2 videos in this series. One is on cans and condiments, and the other is on spices. But remember, for each one of these videos, I'm going to talk about finding the right space, what to stock, and how to build back your pantry.